Let's see if you can hear me now. Check one, check two. Check one, check two. I'm doing a sound check. Check one, check two. Can you hear me? Check one, check two. Yes, you can hear me right now. I can hear you. I can hear you. Katina, peace and blessings to you. All right, I'm going to put this thing in here. I'm going to see if I can talk through this other mic. Let's see if you can hear me through this right here. Okay, let me take this out here. All right. So I'm back. What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all as you come in. I hope that your day is just as blessed as mine is. I'm out here in Africa, beautiful Ghana, and I just want to just come and shoot a fat, shoot the bull, whatever you want to call it, with you all. I hope that you are enjoying your lovely Saturday as I am. Wanted to kind of just maybe just show y'all a little bit of Ghana for those who are unsure of its what it's about. I can point in some direction, maybe give you some little take on places or whatever, but just talking a little bit, you know, as the day goes on. Peace and blessings to you too, Miss A. Taylor. All right, okay, so I see everybody can hear us. All right. Not your boy, happy guy. What's up and with you? Peace and blessings to you. Good to see that y'all can hear me. Good to see you can hear. Well, family, you know, let me turn this camera around here. I'm up here on this building. I don't even know if I even cleanse my lens. 1 second here. Let me do this right here. All right. As I cleanse this lens and the back lens, I won't be able to, I would be able to. Yes, I will. All right. Ghana. I have had many people who reach out to me. I've done consultations. People are interested in Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya. Some have inquired about Rwanda. But I'm in Ghana right now. For many of you all don't know, I own property in Ghana. And a decision I made last year, shout out to Wadamaya, who built my confidence back into at least getting an investment in Ghana as it continues to prosper and rise up. I'm the type that I want to see all of us prosper and win. Now, one of the biggest things many people say, well, go black. We ain't got the funds and we fall short of this money. How are we able to at least get a piece of the pie? Well, what I find very interesting, I used to say that same thing back in the day. I used to say that thing, used to scream broke. I used to find excuses why I could not do something that somebody advised me to do. I'm just gonna I'm gonna continue to walk around and I'm gonna point some directions out here shortly, but I'm gonna continue to talk right here. I hope each and every one of y'all learn from this. Get your notepads out and your pencil. I'm telling you all right here, me being 56 years old, I wished I was not hard-headed as I used to be when there was good counsel being given to me and I ignored it for so many years. I wasted so many of my life years ignoring those who was trying to help me, and I totally just, don't know what he's talking about. But in saying that, we got two brothers up here. Look like they're gonna probably go into some wedding or something. But get your pencil and your paper out because I want to drop a few notes on y'all, or a couple gold nuggets on y'all. What's up, brothers? How y'all doing? How are you? Who getting married? He's downstairs. Oh, okay. Y'all the grooms. I mean, y'all the grooms. The groomsmen. Okay. Yeah. As people are coming in, you know, I'm just sitting out here on the ledge. Let me show y'all something, and I want y'all to grab a hold of this, okay? This right here is typical, what we would call the average Ghanaian, where Ghanaians live, okay? You can see, we would call this probably the hood, okay? We would probably they call this the village. They would probably call this the ghetto. But what you're seeing is things around it. So you have these pockets, these small pockets, right, that are here that you've seen where people have lived. They have lived in these small housings, huts, quarters, whatever you want to call it. And these are people who are trying to make ends meet. Some would say poor. I don't like to use the word poor because to me, it's a spiritual component when it comes to the way you think. But you can have a poor mentality, but not necessarily monetarily. Okay, I'm back. It's good to know that's a dead spot over there. So let's talk about this real quick, okay? Because I want to show you all Ghana, but keep in mind, family, let me turn this around. Keep in mind, this is you. This is your children. This is your children's children. This is for you and your children's children. And I want y'all to understand that as life goes on, you're going to watch those around you begin to prosper or grow. You're going to watch development come in. What does that mean? Let's not get so stuck on a one mindset thing. When I talk, I try to talk spiritually, mentally, and physically. When I say growth, not just growing with buildings, ideas. You know, I said on my video the other day, I said, y'all don't know how to pray. See, they done told you that, you know, y'all pray for money, you praying for stuff when God has nothing to do with that. What I found out a key in my life was stop praying for stuff, but pray for the spiritual things, the ideas, the wisdom. That's the principles, the laws, and the commandments of God so I don't cross them. Praying for those things that are on a spiritual level so that then it can manifest into a physical level. What good is it for you to keep banging your head and you went to all these colleges and you barely making ends meet? You making 60, 70, 80, 100, $200,000 and yet you still seem like you can't get nowhere. Now I know some of y'all say, dang, he went to $200,000. Yes. I know people right now, some of my friends who are millionaires who are strapped because they never obtain the amount of money from a spiritual sense. They obtain it from a physical sense. Now let's get back here. Let's get back to this right here. I'm dropping some gold nuggets right here. I'm gonna show you some things that they haven't shown you necessarily from above. Now think about what I'm saying. Remember, when I'm speaking, I'm not just talking physically. When I'm talking about above, we're also talking about spiritually. I'm showing you from above. We're talking about from the heavens above, spiritually. Not up there in the sky, but a consciousness. This right here is a typical small village surrounded by development that is happening. Okay? I get my hair cut right here in this little building. I got my curtains right here. I got my curtains made right there, inside there. The people, they have great skills. They have great abilities. But many do not know how to put it to work. Many don't know how to take the little money they got and build upon it. Many don't have the business mindset to grow. Let me turn the camera back around. So when we see this, you're going to start to see, well, hold up. We got some buildings more now that is at a higher scale with some roofing versus the more of the flat tops of most of the smaller units where people are living, right? And you can see this all across. Let me go across the street here. So you're going to see developments, right? You're seeing a new building here. You're seeing a building here, right? They're selling apartments right over there. You're seeing these are apartments right here, right? These are, and at the bottoms are businesses, just like you see right here. These are businesses, right? Businesses. These are people who have money, people who came across money and started to build their building brick upon brick. And it might have took them 10 years, but they were ones who knew if they get themselves from out of here, out of this area, they're going to have to do something different. Okay? Because you're seeing that growth is happening. Somebody, money, whoever, building, apartment building right here. Okay. When we look across over here, where I was going over here to, you see more of a common way of life of living. All right? Let me move back over here. Because people talk about gentrification. And you can't get mad at gentrification. Hold on 1 second. Let's look over here. We see they are going to be building a huge building, apartment building right here. They've built that. They built that. Somebody's built that right there. That might be somebody's. Maybe that look like a 6 or 7, 8 quarter building here. All of these are new buildings going up right here. Let me go in closer on those. You see the dirt road. This is in Accra, travel girl. This right here building is called Melcom. That is a grocery store. It's a grocery store owned by Turkish folks. Now, you're trying to save up to start a company in Africa. This way I invest in Africa companies while in America. You save up, continue to save up. Now, you're going to see across the horizon, right? You're going to see, you might not be able to make them out, but you're going to see all different types of structures. You're going to see people from all different backgrounds who have built either their small place or a large place, such like in damn Erica. Put the D in front of America, capitalize the E. But you're going to see building after building after building after building that people are doing in Accra. Now, how does this apply to you all? How do you position yourself? How do you position yourself to go and at least get yourself on the start like most Africans do, and that is building brick upon brick? I'm glad you asked. You know, somebody asked, who buys from the Turkish folk? How do they succeed? Well, Africans buy from the Turkish folk. Because, is there anything wrong with that? No, there's nothing wrong with that. I go over there and shop. I shop, I just told you, I showed y'all where I get my hair cut, the local man down here. You know, they got a tailor down here who do clothes, curtains. He did my curtains and stuff. I'm gonna have him go ahead and resize some of my outfits. And you got all kind of businesses. There's nothing wrong with supporting businesses if businesses support you. Now, what I find is that many of us are so concerned about everybody else and not ourselves. We'd rather find excuses of why we cannot achieve because of your mind thinking that somebody's keeping you from doing that. That's one of the curses that we have. You know, me and my wife was talking, and she shared with me one of our associates. Him and his wife is a YouTuber. I'm not gonna mention no names, and a couple of other people that they're doing a great job in Africa, and you know, they're a young couple doing it well. And they ain't letting nothing stop them. No, I'm gonna tell you one of the couples is T3andMe. You gotta go check out their YouTube channel, T3andMe. They're in Tanzania. Beautiful couple, young couple. You know, they like me and my wife. You know, my wife was like, you know, she watched their videos. I watched their videos, and we are so thankful to see some of our young people doing it. There's a lot of young people doing it in America. But the thing about it is, they're not doing it in America on their own terms. You see, here in Africa, it's brick upon brick where you see that your future is coming to flourish. Versus America, it's 30-year mortgage, and you pray that you don't lose your job, you don't get laid off, you don't get sick. You hope that, you know, taxes don't squeeze you out of your property. You hope that, you know, these life situations don't happen. That's different here in Africa. Let me turn the camera back around. Because in Africa, when you see people who build buildings brick upon brick, and these buildings have been sitting here, it's like almost like, man, how long is it going to take them to build these freaking buildings? But guess what? They only build as they got the money that come in. I know these buildings probably been sitting here, probably worked upon little brick upon brick, probably 2-3 years. Sometimes people have told me, like this building here, so it's probably going to take them 10 years to finish this building, because I've seen this building here, I've seen these around, and for the last few years. But it don't matter. If I happen to fall and die, guess what? My children takes up the next brick and starts building on it, because they're going to be paid off. There not going to be no taxes. Africa don't have taxes. And if there is some, if you're going to call it taxes, it's a small fee. I pay $60 for my property. And so in my other place, in Tanzania, I pay $400 a year. I'm talking about $400 a year. So the brother asked just shortly, I'm trying to save. This is what the problem of most people have. They don't save. This is the brick upon brick concept. Well, I ain't got a lot of money to save. Well, guess what? They don't either. But look how beautiful. Look at the one right here on the right. It's got the windows already in it, right? So they're working on these. Whoever has the money, the project, they might not have all the money just to go ahead and knock it all out and be done with it. It's going to take time. You know, in America, which is amazing, is America, you can put buildings up. You could put in 1 year, you can put a 18-story building up in 1 year. In Africa, it takes, for the average, about 8 to 9 stories, because I see them all over the place, 3 years. These developers says, we're going to be breaking ground over here starting this month, and we got a project going on, and we are going to be finished with it in 3 years. And you'd be like, 3 years? You mean I got to purchase something today and have to look at it for 3 years? They don't concern themselves about that, which is a great mindset, because it's about, look, It's going to happen. But the question of it is, are you patient enough? I wish I had my mic because I know this is popping probably. We don't have the patience. We don't have the endurance, the discipline to last in order to make this happen for ourselves. We want everything today. You don't think about, okay, I'm gonna build me a building, brick upon brick. You could do this in America. Go buy land and start building brick upon brick. And you get your family, your kids involved. Why? They need to know the vision. If you fall, that means if you die. They pick up the brick and they start building brick upon brick. How do you get here? Penny upon penny. Penny upon penny. Kilimanjaro said, $100,000 is a lot of money. No, it's not. I understand what you're saying, but it's really not. $100,000, yes. And everybody would love to just go ahead and get $100,000. But when you really think about it, if you went to go buy your car, which is going to cost you in America, the latest car, mid-size, average car is going to cost you $40,000. Boom, gone. $40,000. What are you going to do now with that money? Most of you all are going to buy your Gucci, your Louis Vuittons, your jewelry. You're going to buy that and be broke within 2 months. $100,000 is not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. When I say not a lot of money, there's little you can do with it. When I say little, see, y'all think when you got a little mind, you buy little things. They only last a little time. That's the curse that many of us folks have. 100K ain't a lot of money in Ghana. Not if you come in and you trying to live like you, the way you are coming from. You know how, look, do you know how much stuff costs now in Ghana? Let me show you. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Let me show you some stuff here. Let me show you some stuff here. Isaac, what's up, brother? All right. Let me show y'all something right here. So y'all just saw they got the you know, most of these, you know, places gonna have the pools. This is the pool. You know, they're gonna have the clubhouse, the restaurant, gyms. They're gonna have that, right? So I'm talking about, you know, when you're talking about, let me show y'all something. These apartments right here, okay? These are gonna run you in these apartments about in the $270,000. This building here, these two buildings right here, you can't, not this one right here, but this one's right here. I went over there to take a look at there. They have 4 left. 4 apartments left. The cheapest was $390,000 for a 2-bedroom. So I'm saying, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, when you put it in perspective of the cost of living, $100,000 is not a lot these days. Oh, it's hard to come across for many of you all, but it's not really a lot of money. Because if you got it in your hand, tell me what you're gonna buy that is lasting. You're gonna buy a freaking $40,000, $50,000 vehicle, and it's gonna depreciate, and in 4 years, you're gonna get rid of it when it starts to break down. This is what happens. You in America can't even buy anything for $100,000. Here in Ghana, you can't even buy anything now for $100,000. Y'all missed the boat. Well, you do. You got some places you can. I'm in Accra area. I'm talking about the Accra area. You can buy something, and you can build something cheaper, most definitely. But But the land around Accra, you gotta get outside of Accra, the capital city. But somebody said you can buy a small house and build something on a plot of land. You can. You got to get away from the city, because of course, yes, the further you get away, the cheaper things are. And you could do it with $100,000, but you're gonna have to find the land or go out to Cape Coast. They got land that they gave to the diasporans. That the fee for getting it, for the paperwork, the surveillance and everything, like the surveying, and all that is $1,200, and you can get your plot of land, and then you can build on that. That's out in Cape Coast though. That's almost 2.5 hours from here. But let's get back to waking our people up, because what I was going towards was we starting right here. This is the average lifestyle of where most Ghanaians, Africans, even Black Americans live at this place, at this type, at this level, at this venture of life, right? But then you start to see buildings upon buildings start to go. Every time I talk to my brothers and sisters, my Ghanaian brothers and sisters, I ask them, you see all this growth happening, how are you getting in the midst of it to get some of that money? What are you doing? You see, most people only have the know-how to keep them at this place. They only have the knowledge to stay at this place right here, to stay at this place. Then you have those who may have come across an idea or even come across money, or come across an opportunity to where they were able to go to the next level, where you see where we call it gentrification, where you're going to start to see buildings upon buildings start to come in, right? They're going to start to buy away some of these people's land, right? And then there are people that get pushed out, they go elsewhere, and then, you start to see more bigger and bigger buildings. So, my question is, how do you get yourself to the next level? You see, everybody, I see a lot of people in the chat, they got all the answers. But the question of it is, are they doing anything? The one thing I've learned, you're not on it. Yeah, I'm looking at me. Yeah. The one thing that I've learned, we good for talk, but dang bad at action. We good at talk, but we're bad at doing. Comes in and out. So if it goes back out, just stay with me. I see there's 300 people who didn't leave. Those people are hungry. We have to get to a place that you have to make a commitment today. Are you either going to be at the bottom of just existing, or do you want to move into a place of flourishing? I see you, Kilimanjaro. I tell most of my brothers and sisters, the reason why you are financially poor is because your management of money is poor. And most people tell me they don't have enough money to save, and I tell them that's not true. Save something. Because if you want to live your life, which is, I'm not saying anything bad, but if you want to live at this place and you pass on to your children to stay out here at this level, This means then their minds haven't gone beyond yours. The ideas, their creativities. That means they haven't, because I told you all, the reason why people get money is their creativeness. That's what you should be praying for. It's the creativity that has been placed in you, the ideas, the knowledge, because that's what man pays you for. Is that not true? Don't man pay you for doing work? That's your ability to create. Whether you creating, flipping a burger, molding a burger, dropping some fries, you're painting, you're fixing, you're sewing, you're cutting, you're flying, you're whatever you're doing, people are paying you for that. But that only gets you paid so much, or only pays you a little, that it cannot get you past here. It can't get you past here. Some have worked their way to here. Some worked their way to here. Some worked their way to here. And some have worked their way up here. Up here. How do you get there? Family, I'm telling you, you have to respect what is given you. That's your energy, your will, your drive, your endurance, your discipline. You must wake those up in you, because we are a lazy people. We become complacent. We became happy and content where we are. Nothing wrong with that. But many people complain. Come on, y'all. I got 446 people in here, and I see 213 thumbs. You know, this is sometimes, I forget to sometimes to push the thumbs, because it's not about, do you like me? It's about, is this for you? Is this edifying, and can you eat off of it? Can you build off of it? How are you able to listen to this right here? Some people don't like to see other people win when they're stuck in a place. This is where the thumbs up, I look at it like people can't even push a thumb up. I ain't pushing no thumb up. I don't like what he's saying, this and that. Well, that type of behavior is what is called, I call stunting your growth. Anytime you are a hater, or anytime you can't get to an understanding, because I don't think people are hating. Anytime you don't understand something, it's when you don't agree. If you can't get to an understanding what I'm sharing right now, you will be right where you are. You will continue to work for a system that will keep you at a level that you just can't get past. Because when one accepts and embraces the success of others, he or she is one who go ask the questions. Hey, I do it all the time. Man, what took you, man? What took you to get this building right here built? How long have it taken you, and what are the possibilities? What did you have to go through to start this building right here? Because this is what I'm gonna be building. I'm gonna be building a building just like this. I'm gonna be building probably about a 6-story, maybe 4 to 6-story building. That's what my goal is. Not in Ghana, but I will be building my apartment building. It will happen. Why? Because I spoke it. I'm gonna tell you, I'll do a video on speaking. I've done many videos on speaking. If you don't understand the power of speaking, you ain't getting nowhere. But even before then of speaking, you should have a plan. Again, there's nothing wrong with, if you want to live at any level, nobody's greater. Whether you live in a tall, you built this building, built that building, whether you built these small buildings, whatever it is, nobody's greater and better than anybody. But what I'm saying is, I do know, because I went inside of here when my barber, they had to build, I got my hair cut over in here, because I walk all the way over here, then get over here, get my hair cut right in here. They didn't have this building here not too long ago. He lives right over in here. He lives right over in here. And these people here has to share bathrooms. Now, that's okay if that's what you want to do. But I know for me and mine, I don't want to share bathrooms. So anything that I want to accommodate my life and my lifestyle, that means I'm going to have to come up with some ideas to get me out of that daggone situation. Can I get an amen? For real, for real. And this is what people lack when it comes to trying to get yourself out of situations. Now, there's a whole lot of things I can go into making this whole thing work. Based upon my experience, there's a billion ways you can make it work. But what I find in most people who are at a level that they're trying to get to next level, I find that they're lazy. They're terrible with budgeting their money, saving it, having a plan. You know, I've said this before. There is a good percentage of these buildings that are being built come from corrupt money. Let me say that again. There is a nice percentage out here, a good percentage of these buildings being built comes from corruption. Whether people scam, people out here maybe doing some things that are illegal, whatever it might be. A lot of this comes from illegal activity. I have people tell me all the time, people show me, I just know it. But I'm not talking about cutting corners doing that. See, that only lasts only for a short period of time. You know, before you get caught, or because of life consequences, it's taken away from you. I'm talking about doing it the right way. And the main thing, in order for you to achieve, if you want to start your foundation off right and don't have no worries of it crashing down, is you got to put all of this in perspective of the Most High. I'm gonna say that. This ain't about me preaching anything. I'm just gonna tell you, I know guys. They're just scammers. I know guys who cut corners, who does things illegal. Every time they take 2-3 steps, they take 5 steps backwards. I see it. I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to do it the Most High's way. I'm going to do it so that I don't have to look over my shoulder. I'm going to do it so it stays in the hands of my children's children's children in order for them to be able to be prosperous and succeed. So, the reason many of our brothers and sisters are down here, they know they want to get out. They know they do. And they see what's happening, but they don't have the knowledge nor the idea. I asked my barber, because y'all know my game was barbering. That's how I started my whole thing off in life. I was in the military. I opened up a barbershop, opened up 2, opened up 3, had a beauty supply store. My ideas started to grow. I got out of that, went into properties, got into the properties. Now I'm looking at apartment building. Now I'm looking at building this app. Now, see, the ideas start to come. Ideas come from the universe. You do know the Most High is the universe, right? You do know we are in the bosom of the Most High, right? I mean, we are floating in space. We're not sitting on some ground that's just not floating and spinning in space. We are sitting in the midst of a universe. And within this universe are ideas, good and bad. Pick which side you want to go on. Thank you. Let's see who sent in some Sachi Israel. Thank you for your heart of giving. You know, I have found, whether I was in America, whether I was in South America, whether I was in the islands, whether I was in Europe, whether I was in they call it the Middle East, whether I was in Africa, everywhere I go, I always seek out my people. I find where they are. I talk to them. I get into their heads, and all of them like are poor. And when I really get down to the hard questions and I get the answers, it's the same excuses. Our government is corrupt. There are no jobs. I'm putting them in order. Our government is corrupt. There are no jobs. That's the top two. The government's corrupt. There are no jobs. There are no opportunities. Thank you, Wildflower. Poverty is a mindset. When I hear this, it takes me all the way back to 1992 when I used to say that. I'm gonna say that again. It takes me all the way back when I used to say that. I found out I was the one corrupt. I had the corrupt mind. I found out that I was the one who was the opportunity. I found out that I was the one who can create a job. I was always in the mindset of them giving me a job instead of me going to create a job. I'm not going around talking about what I see most of our people say, oh, I got a business. You're making $200. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you creating. You being the creator. And by you creating it, you respecting it, and you build it. The problem I see with so many of our black businesses, look the stats up. 80% of black businesses in America fail within 1 to 5 years. And I believe that. I've seen so many bad attempts of starting business from our people. I have seen us waste our time, our effort, and our money, all because there are those who are lazy. There are those who are not committed. There are those who only do just enough to get by. There are those who haven't even set their priorities straight in life. They rather still go out and spend and waste their money on frivolous things. Things that cannot bring in money, but things that take money away from you. I see people go get loans for their houses, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. Look, if you can afford the house that will not bring you money in, why don't you go ahead and get you a small little apartment, live in, go get the loan for the business to bring the money in. A house is a liability. Unless you intend on buying a house and you want to intend on flipping it or something like that. But even then, depending on the market, depending on where you buy, it all has a lot to do with that. The housing market sucks right now. But some of you all will go out and buy $400,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 homes. And will break your tail to live in a place that you can just look back and think you're proud of instead of saying, hold up, I got this twisted. Let me get this small house right here. Let me get the small place because I want to go ahead and take this money. I'm going to go get the loan to go ahead and put it into a business that will bring me in more income. You see, they told you that America's dream or America's dream is to own a home. You don't own a home. Not when you pay a mortgage, people. They told you that. I had some people argue with me. I own my home. Is it paid off? No, but I still own it. No, you don't. You do not own your home. The bank owns it. Stop paying on it. Let's see. Let's see if you still can live in it. You see all this opportunity of people of different levels, living, building, growing. How many of us do this in America? How many of us in America are building apartments, businesses? In Africa, this is all Africans do. Whether you're going to be the small man, look, let me go show you this right here. This small man right here, this is his convenience store. This is where I go get my water, go get my odds and ends. This is a man's little convenience store. I've already shared for you all. This guy right here, I don't want to get too far over here, my thing fall out. This guy right here in this building, he's a seamstress or a tailor. These guy right here, this is the barber shop. This right here, this guy sells electrical outlets and extension cords and all things kind of electric and stuff. He sells that in his business. You got the businesses all around. I can't see because I'm on a side street. But when you look over here, you see businesses all here. If I was on the main road, you see people out here with the fruit stands. You'll see people out here cutting coconuts. You see everybody at whatever level they are doing businesses. And many are building their houses brick upon brick. America lied to you and told you you can get a mortgage for 30 years and pay on it when they know they already did the math. A certain percentage of people will lose their jobs and will be out of that house. We'll turn around and foreclose and resell it and then make more money off of that. They know that the average time span of a people staying in their house is between 7 to 9 years, and they will upgrade or they will downsize. Which means you start all over again for that 30 years, which means that you are not going to be having a paid off house when you get to about 62, because the average person, when they buy their house, can afford to buy their house or want to buy their house, are typically in their early 30s. Somebody look the stats up and see. I'm not sure on that. I never looked that up. Somebody please Google and find out what is the average age of a homeowner. What's the average age or the age for a homeowner when buying a house. Somebody look that up for me. Somebody says you have to weigh the pros and the cons. You always have to consider the cost of everything. You have to weigh the pros and cons. The problem of it is many of you all stem off of fear. Many of you all stem off of fear. My son told me something very profound. He told me, he said, you know what? He said, I spent a lot of years gambling, spent a lot of years just wasting money, buying cars and jewelry and just wasted my money. He said, but at the same breath, I was afraid to invest my money. He said, but I wasted, somebody puts 36 years old. Hang time, 36. Okay, we got another 36. Home buyers, 36. Thank you very much. So 36, let me get finished with my son, get back to 36 here in a second. But he said, all this time I've been afraid to have to run risk to invest in myself. But I wasted all this time and money on this stuff that didn't even bring me anything. I said, you're absolutely right. I did the same thing. Some of you all are so afraid of the risks. It's because you already know who you are. Thank you very much, you all, for the 36. I appreciate that. Now let's get back to the age 36. So if the average home buyer, first-time home buyer, buys a house at the age 36, and they know, because of course They're starting a family typically. They're going to start to have kids. They're going to outgrow that house, where they're going to turn around when they get about 10, 11, 12 and buy another house. That's the 7 to 9 year average that people will buy another house. So just imagine you're 36 years old. You're starting a family. You wait till your kid's about 9, 10 years old. You now are 46, 47 years old, and you turn around and buy another house. So you turn around and buy another house that's bigger because you know the kid's going to grow and now they can get their own rooms because they were babies. They could share a room, maybe, whatever. Now you're buying a house at 46, 47 years old, and you now are into a house that you get another 30-year mortgage on. In 10 more years, your children are leaving out of the house to go to college. Right? So another 10 years, you're talking about 57, 58 years old. You are now talking about, you and your wife talking about, this house, the kids are gone. You might hold on to it because most people hold on to it because they think their kids will come back to visit. So they stay in the house. But once the kids get married, they start their own families, whatever. Now they're like, this house is big. Kids are doing their own thing. So now it's time to get rid of this big house. Let's just downsize. So now you're about daggone 57 to 60. By the time they get married and everything, you might as well say you're about 60. Even if you didn't sell the house, just think about it. At the age of 46, when you went and bought another house because the kids had to grow into it, 30 years makes you 76 years old to pay that house off. But now you downsize at 60, you're going to be dag near 90 years old to pay off the house. So you're never going to pay off your house. Never going to pay off your house. So what am I saying? Go Black, what are you saying? They told you that America's dream is to own a house. You will never. Somebody look up the stats. How many Americans pay off their house? What is the percentage of Americans that pay off their house? Let's find that out. I love you all because y'all help me out too. We gonna learn today. As that bus driver said, you gonna learn today. But think about it. But here in Africa, look, these are all Africans who owns these. Most of these are Africans. I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of these are Africans. Even the smaller ones, they brick upon brick. Look, these people here built look, let me turn this around. These people built their little huts. This is what you call a starter home. These are starter homes. It's got a roof over their head, right? They got central bathroom. They got their water. They cook there in the community. See, everybody's face there. That's in their little circle. This right here, everybody knows everybody, whatever it might be. If you look over in here, right here, you see. Somebody said 26%. 26%. Somebody said 37%. We got two different numbers. We got 37%, 26%, 38%. Well, let's go with 37%. I need somebody now to look up. What is the average age when Americans pay off their house? Let's see what the age is. Because let's go with 37%. Because we got to break that down. We got to remember now, that's all inclusive. That's not including black people. We haven't broken it down to find out the black people. So if you're talking about 37 to 38%, that means 6 out of 10 people will never pay off their house. But we talking about the black community. Somebody might want to run the stats on that. What is the percentage of black homeowners that pay off their house? Because we got to keep it in perspective. Because when you talk about 36%, we know who makes up the majority of that percentage. Somebody said 59. 59. You know, I got to put on there. What is the average age for a person to have a house paid off in America? We know it ain't no 45. We know it ain't no 59. Well, it could be. But where are we in the mix? Because I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. We got starters. Brick upon brick. Somebody got 65, somebody said 69. Okay, so we're talking about in the 60s, right? In the 60s. And we don't know if they talk how many of the black folks that is. But I just gave you an example that many of us don't have the paid off house. And if it is a paid off house, you probably got it from your grandmama and them. So thank you very much. You said it makes sense to build your own. So it makes sense to build your own. You see, that money that you put away because you wanted that Escalade that cost $80,000, the Cadillac, you wanted the Mercedes or the BMW, you know, you wanted the high-end SUV car, whatever. You took the money basically and you dumped it right over this wall when you buy a car like that. Just think about it. If you can buy a car for $80,000, just imagine if you kept the hoopty and saved that $80,000. Think about it. If you can make a payment, I can't believe what payments people are paying right now. My gosh, $1,000 a month for a vehicle. You mean to tell me you don't have enough sense to say, I'm gonna go buy me a used car that might cost me $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to get me to and from, and take that extra, that $1,000, let's say the car costs me $200 a month. I'm gonna take that extra $800, that's $9,600 a year, that I can do that, and in 5-6 years, that if I had the payment for the other vehicle, which I hope y'all know they've increased it now to 7-8 years, I heard. But if it's 6 years, $9,600 brings me into $57,000 you could save. Don't you tell me you cannot save no money. Do you know what $56,000 can get you? $56,000 is a down payment deposit on you buying a rental house, a house to rent out. What? Most people got to put down 20% down. I've had to put it on my rental properties. 20% down on a property in order to get that house. So 10% of 500,000 is 50,000. So we know $250,000. You can go buy you a house for $250,000. Put the 20% down and rent that joker out and have income coming in every month. If you turning around buying these daggone cars, people talking about they ain't got money. You got money. See, you rather drive and look good instead of having a house bringing you in money. This is why most of us are staying at this level. We're at the starter kits. This is starters. And then your children, right? Then some move up to here. Some move up to here. Some start to move and build up here and up here. You see, you have the money. You just don't know what to do with it. You don't know what to do with it. And once you start saving penny upon penny and you see it turn into dollars, this is what it did to me. It motivated me. I remember in 1992, I had zero to my name. I maxed out my credit card, which was $400, which was a lot of money. I was paying $300. Look, this is back in 1988 when I bought my BMW. I was paying $376 car note back in 1988. When I used to tell people that, they were like, God, dog, because that was a lot of money. That was almost 2 weeks of my check. I got paid twice a month from the military. 2 weeks check went towards my car note. I was stupid. I was ignorant. I was dumb. That car, I paid $18,500 for that BMW. In 1988. Do you know my dad bought our house back in 1982 for 30, what he told me, $36,000, I think he told me. 36 or 46. I'm gonna say $46,000. When I took my dad with me to go look at the car, he said, "You gonna pay what for this car?" I was only worried about looking good for my friends. I'm thinking, boy, they gonna hate on me, boy, when they see me rolling with this. Because I was stationed down in South Carolina, but I was in Ohio, and I got that car cheaper. And so my dad said, you're gonna spend $18,500 on this car? That's when he told me how much he paid for our house. He said, I bought our house. I wish he was living, but I think it was just say 46,000. I paid just about almost half of a house or driving a car. This is the ignorance black folk do. They do it here in Africa too. You see poor Africans who walking around, a lot of them got to buy the secondhand clothes, right? But they'll pay a little bit more of extra money for the secondhand clothes if it's got polo. I see people around here with the Balenciagas, whatever they call it, the shirts on. I see them with these designer clothes on, and it's like they barely got a pot to piss in, and yet they want to walk around looking all rich. And I'm like, Balenciaga, there we go, Gucci, all that. You see that here? You like, brother, help me, brother. You got something for me today, brother? No, I ain't got nothing for you. How much you pay for that shirt? Oh, this shirt only costs $2 and something cent. But how much does the regular shirts cost? 50 cents. But you want to look rich. Y'all remember the video interview I did with the brother in Tanzania? He had on the Louis stuff. Somebody, he had bought the hat. I think he had bought the hat or something. Wore it all the time. But this is the silly things we do. Because see, we don't want to brick upon brick. See, where we are in America and around the world, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Alaska, wherever you in Canada, black folk, this is where you are. I don't care if you live in a $500,000 house in America. You got a mortgage on it, you still right there. You're not free. You're not free. One hiccup, you're losing your job, you lose your house. So you can feel good about it with your $500,000, $600,000, $1,000 million house, but are you really free? You see, these people will still be here for the next 50, 80, 100 years. They will have a roof over their head. That's one thing. But many of them, though, that I've spoke to, some of them got lands further away, and they're saving, and they're brick upon brick. They're building their little houses or bigger houses, and it's amazing to see. Wow, are you? Go ahead on, man. This is what you building. Let me see where you building. They'll take me out. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. You're one of the smart ones who's taking the little you have and just purchasing brick upon brick, gathering the money up, buying you a truckload of brick and having them build that. Or it might be the foundation first. Then it's the first layer, the walls, outside walls. Then it's then it's going to be put the roof on. Then what they do, this is what they do then. Typically what they do then is they'll fix and complete one room, move into that room, and then start completing the other rooms as time goes on. You think we got endurance and we got patience for that? Heck no. I don't want to do that. I'd rather I can go ahead and go get a bank loan, and I can go ahead and, yeah, you sure can. And guess what? Your children ain't going to have nothing. They're going to have to start over. They're going to have to go out here and buy another home, and they're going to start right where you started from. Their children are going to have to do the same thing. But if you were being wise for you and your children, you would say this madness has got to stop. I'm calling all of y'all knuckleheads in. And I'm the main knucklehead because I didn't teach y'all because I didn't have the knowledge. But now that I have the knowledge, it's time for us to all come together. This is my dream, my goals, my aspirations for our family. And we can do it all together. Because now it's more, especially if your kids are grown. Kids are grown. Let's do this thing together, y'all. Got an idea. We're going to go ahead and buy some land. That's what we're going to start with. Let's just go ahead and buy some land. We're going to sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice. Who's all in? You're not in? Okay. Love you. See you later. Who's all in? Go buy the land. Buy the land. Next money gonna be about architect, pay a person to get the blueprints. Next one gonna be about, okay, all right, gotta get somebody in to put in the sewer or whatever. Next thing is now I got to go ahead and get somebody to come in and do the foundation. Okay, we're gonna gather up some more money. Next month come in because I'm riding this 2 secondhand car, this hoopty, hobbling around town, but every check come in is another truckload of bricks. America's wood. Some states you can get away with brick too. Then you got your little land, you bought some land out there, you got your little foundation going up and you starting to feel good and you're like, yeah. All of a sudden now you're like, we don't need to eat out every weekend. I don't need to go buy no clothes this weekend. I don't know, because now your interests have turned into something more exciting than what your life was always about. Get off of work at the end of the week. You take a breather. You go get a drink. You want to rest. Saturday, you got to go run around, grocery shop, cut the grass, wash the cars. You got to get the kids into the games. You got to do all this stuff right here. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I got to have my me time. So you go to the mall. You go spend your money on stuff that you don't need. And then you go ahead and you start all over again on a Monday. Am I right, y'all? Come on. Am I right? Who will agree with me on this? I only got 468 likes up in here. Come on. I know this is resonating with more people than 468, and we got 800 people in here. This is where we at, family. This is what we can do. How many people going to tell you that? Many people want to sit back and tell you other things, talk about, gossip about, and all this frivolous nonsense. But look, I'm sitting here in Africa. I'm making way. I'm making a trail. I'm making a path for my kids to see. Daddy's doing this right now. And I'm sharing it with you all. It ain't got to be Africa if you want to be Africa. It could be in America if you want. It's just going to cost you 3 times as much, though. That's the sad part. It's going to cost you 3 times as much. Yeah, think about it. You waste all of your energy, or excuse me, you utilize all of your energy to get up every morning, go shower, get up, dress, go out, fight traffic, or go to work, put your time into a job that many of you all don't like. You fight through the battles of sickness. You deal with life stressors, situations that happen. You get up every day, you go to work, and then when the paycheck comes in, you just piss it away. You've disrespected yourself, you disrespected your money, and you have failed your own future. All because of the fact that you don't want to get down and grind. See, some of you all, like I told my son, hey man, you 35 years old almost. Why aren't you working 2 jobs? You're single. Why aren't you working 2 jobs? It gets you there quicker. I had to work 3 jobs. People trip when I say that. I'm like, I don't want to hear from y'all. From those who act like they have such a sad story. Well, here in Africa, in my country, they don't have that. Bull crap. Look. Every excuse, there is a way out. For every excuse, there is a way out. They don't have jobs here. They don't have jobs here. Not at nighttime. It's very hard, very hard. See, the problem is, I hear that 1,000 times. The problem is that we don't have the jobs at night. I said, well, the rest of your brothers and sisters out here doing it. Oh, no, that's corruption. They work for the government and they're the ones who own all these right here. They have this, No. I've met many brothers and sisters out here who started with nothing and they're building their way up. This is what we need to get to, family. Because there's many out here doing it. Many out here doing it. This is the glimpse I was talking about of Ghana. What is going on? A lot is going on. There's always something going on. There's never nothing going on. And until you come to understand, there's always something going on. You see, from a low mind of creativity, because one may have not stepped into their creativity, one had an idea to go here. One had an idea to start a little barbershop, a electric shop, a convenience store. Where's the convenience store? Our sister right here, her shop is, you see these water tanks? Right, this right here is a pharmacy right here. Right here with these water tanks in front, this is where, for those who watched me do the interview with the sister who opened up a Chinese food restaurant, she makes Chinese food. She came from the UK. I mean, she's a Ghanaian, but she used to live in the UK, but she came, she said, y'all need to watch that interview. She said, I wasn't getting nowhere. All I was doing was work, and I had nothing to show for it. She came back and she said, aha, I'm going to do something different. And she put the game like the Chinese do when they come in your cities and your towns. She said, I'm cooking Chinese food. And guess what? It's some daggone good food too. It really is. To me, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Ghanaian style. But I'm saying the difference in when you go to any other Chinese food restaurants or whatever. So I wanted to put that in you all's lap. I wanted to at least bring y'all a gold nugget. A gold nugget. I'm gonna give y'all extra credit too, an extra gold nugget here in a second. If I can get my likes up to, let's see, 795. Y'all know I've never asked about likes, but I've been watching people do these likes. I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can say something to see just that the likes go up. The thumbs doesn't mean anything to me. But then I'm thinking about, well, hold up. They're saying that the likes mean that the message can get out so other people can hear. If it's not for you, would you not even just do a like for somebody else? I mean, aren't we supposed to be our brother's keeper? Aren't we supposed to be at least spread the word? Well, it doesn't apply to me, but let me do the like. So if this algorithm is supposed to make this get to more viewers, whatever, then why not? Okay, time for questions. What questions do you all have? What questions for those, and this is on the subject matter of what we're talking about, because we're talking about building our lives spiritually. I didn't get into spiritual. I only talked about your first and foremost thing. You have to have the Most High. If not, where you're getting your ideas from? You're going to get an idea from somebody else, and you're going to do the same thing. Like I see in Africa, everybody doing the same daggone thing. There is no differences in when it comes to their food. It's like, oh, I get tired of this. So now what I got to do? You get so tired of it, it's like, I got to go somewhere else. Now I'm taking my money somewhere else. Can somebody, like the sister did, can somebody do Chinese? Can somebody do Italian? Can somebody do a different mix of flavor? Can somebody please mix up the game? This is where the creativity comes from. See, when you ain't connected, you have no creativity. When the creator created you to be a creator anyway, because we created all this above ground, the Most High is going to give you a creative idea to get you out of where you are. And stop thinking about the amount of money. Well, that don't pay a lot of money. Stop thinking about that. Stop thinking about that. Think about, this is adding on to what I have. Okay, how many years is building land lease in Ghana? It varies. How many years is a building? How long does it take to build? It can take you as long as you want. It takes you as long as you want. Lease all differs. It all differs when it comes to the leases. Please put a question mark in front of your question, or in the back. I would say put your question mark before your question. That's easy for me to see. The now. Africa is the now. It's not the future, it's the now. And we are always the last one who wants to get in on something. But there again, to each his own. It's okay. Thank you, Black Beauty. Let me go through this right here. Alrighty, we're up to 627. Come on, can we get to 700? Those right there who think this is good for somebody else's, maybe needs to hear this. Maybe it doesn't apply to you. You might know this already, but can you go ahead and hit that thumbs up so that this can go ahead and pass on other people. Because we have this. I try to do this in a good lighted spirit and not rip us apart. Of sometimes how maybe we might be as a people that hinders ourselves, that really holds us back. Sometimes we are our worst enemy. I think really I'm changing saying that is that we are our worst enemy. How many years is oh, you already I said that right there. So if you got a question, anybody got questions, put a question mark in front. You got build or buy or neither. Monique, you say Ghana, build or buy or neither. Hey, that's up to you, but you got to do your due diligence. You got to go ahead and do your due diligence and make sure that you did all you can to go ahead and take care of your business, what you want to do. Can you invest in Tanzania before moving there? I don't recommend it, but yes, you can. Somebody be glad to take your money. Why would you want to invest in something that you do not see? Please, somebody help me understand that. I see this all the time. I see now somebody else is claiming not somebody else is on a hot fire coals of people claiming that he done scammed them of land and all this other stuff. And it's like, and y'all didn't go see the land? Why would you want to invest in a place that you don't see? I don't get that. How much should we have to save to build and invest in Ghana? A penny? You got to start with a penny. How much you see? Because here's the thing about that question. Because most people think you start today. People think at the very end of something. Oh, I need $50,000. I ain't got $50,000. No, what about starting today? Because I can't answer that question like, how much? How much do you want to spend? How much do we have to save to build? You just save. Just save. Do you know the details what happens when the man's house was destroyed? No, they're still in talks with that right now. How's the tax base breakdown? There's none. Not in Ghana. You don't have like tax. You have a fee you pay, but that's it. Where to start as far as investing? Your bank account. Start saving. Then look into the Roth IRAs. IRAs, right? IRA stands for individual retirement accounts. Look into a Roth IRA. Look into mutual funds. Start putting money, $25, $50 a month away in that. Learn more about it. Look and gain more about the market. Educate yourself. That's what I had to do. And that's where you start. Little brick upon brick, penny upon penny. Are there any programs to help us move away from the America? Yeah. I'm one right here. I'm a platform. O'Shea Duke Jackson. What's up, brother? Shout out to Go Black Dad. What's up, brother? Man, look. Is that all you sending me, man? At 25,000 Ghana. Uganda what? What they call them out there? That's only 50 cents, brother. Come on. I'm messing with you, man. Let's see here. Pay off debt first before saving. My screen keeps flipping, y'all. Pay off debt first before saving for land, house, or do both at the same time. Hey, figure it out. Whatever your plan is, it's totally up to you. Oh, shit, you came back at me. Thanks for the 75 cent, brother. I appreciate it. You went from 50 cents to 75 cents. I'm just joking with you, man. I'm just joking with you. Hey, y'all, go check out O'Shea Duke Jackson. Check out his channels right there. That brother, man, I tell you, good brother in Uganda. He's doing big things there. He's got his channels out there. O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's got the Pan-African dating show. He's got the Kinganga show as well. Busy man doing it. He's doing it. Has the topics of what you're looking for when it comes to the African experience, whether it might be dating, an African woman or man, or even the manosphere and the feminist woman. Well, I see a leader of Israel. Yeah, I'll be going to Israel. I think next month I'm gonna go ahead and participate in their annual celebration. Are there any companies where you can buy land without being defrauded? There are, yes, there are companies. There are companies or developers that you can buy from. Do I have to get my residence permit before buying? Typically in Ghana, you do. In most countries, you got to have a reason why you're wanting to buy, but you don't necessarily have to have a house or property. But if it's a residence, to get your residence, there are certain requirements that you must meet to get your residency. Business, maybe have a business. You might be volunteering. You might be, it's just different things. What do you think about building a shipping container homes? People do it every day. They got over here, a place over here with a lot of shipping containers where people hang out and different businesses are inside of them. Is it true doing business in Ghana, you have to include Ghanaians first? I don't know. I don't do that type of business in Ghana. I'm not necessarily sure, but I don't know. I have to ask my friend. He's got a business here. Several of them got businesses. How much approximately should one save to build or invest in Ghana? Think about your question. How much approximately should one save to build and or invest in Ghana? That number, that's like me asking, how much does houses cost in America? Not trying to be smart, but I mean, really, Ghana is a huge country. You can buy land probably for $800 in places, $500 in places. It might be out there in the bush, maybe further away from the country or city. It just all depends on where it is you're trying to buy. What is the best way to start the process coming from the UK to Ghana? Research, watch people's YouTube channels, look up Ghana expats, just type in Ghana. You're gonna find many YouTubers. They're doing the videos all day, every day. Can you have land ownership as a foreigner in a place like Ghana? Yeah. People doing it all the time. Okay, you're talking about investing before you come, not invest before you see it. Okay, all right. Yeah, invest, like I said, Roth IRAs, we can do a Roth retirement account. You can do mutual funds, so many different investments. You can put your money in CDs. CDs rates are starting to go up now. Get a little bit more money for your bang for your buck, than putting in just in your bank account. My husband does not want to come to the continent. How can I convince him? The question is, why does he want to come to the continent? Has he been anywhere else? Why doesn't he want to come? I got to know that at least. Let's see here. Let me entertain a few more questions. My question was about investing before. Oh, I already seen that. Okay. Go Black, can you meet us in Ghana? Yeah, reach out to me. GoBlackToAfrica@gmail.com. Send me a email. Do I need resident permit before buying? I've answered that question already. I'll be in Ghana at the end of the May for a study trip, and our missions are similar. I have business I like to do and set up. Can we set up? My screen keeps flipping. Can we set up a link? Reach out to me, GoBlackToAfrica@gmail.com. You know, I'm always on the move, y'all. I'm about to be out of here in 2 weeks, come back again, and I'll be gone, and come back, I'll be gone again. Yeah. Do they have police? Do they have violent crimes? No, I ain't gonna say they have violent crimes. They do have police here. But everywhere you have an issue, but it ain't like America. Do you have to be vaccinated against COVID? No, not in Ghana. They lifted all that stuff. How the crime rate in Ghana? You know, I think more or less somebody might steal phones, a thief stealing something. I think theft might be their main. Killing? You're not hearing killing. How can we get in touch with you? All right, mention that right there. GoBlackToAfrica@gmail.com. When you buy land in Ghana, is it yours? Yes. You have lease land, which renews. Is there expressway for citizenship by buying a home at your to set price? No. How can we get in touch? Okay, I read that one. My screen. Yes, I'm visiting Sao Tome. Not right now. Them tickets done tripled on me. I just don't want to pay the price. Alrighty. Is your rental in Tanzania completed? Have you started renting it out yet? One of them is completed. I haven't rented it out yet. I don't even want to rent it out yet. Can you help to assist us when we come in May? I'm not going to be here. Probably in the next 12 days, maybe or so. But when you say assist, what do you mean? Send me an email. Send me an email. Where can we get cheap lands? You got to research and find it, yo. Especially when you come here, like I said, there are companies around here, developers out here. There's signs everywhere. You will find them. Planning a trip to Ghana, need to know the cost. Cost varies, you have to research. Research flights, research Airbnb. With 50K, with one ticket, should I head to Ghana or Kenya? Stretch the money. Start, live in 27 single. You best use that money to bring in money unless you got already money coming in to survive off $50,000. Tell you $50,000 ain't nothing. I spent $60,000 $60-some thousand I spent last year traveling. But I did a lot of traveling though too. But I spent $60,000 something last year traveling Africa. Has there ever been a case of Ghana government need renewing 50-year lease? I'm not sure. How you go about the process to build with me? Send me a email. It's leased land. Most land's leased land. Let me tell you this right here. America's land is leased land. You pay taxes on it. Stop paying taxes, they'll kick you off. People think that it's leased land. You know, here they just have a time frame on it because the thing of it is how they do it, just like America. They have, but in Africa, they have a thing to where it's like, okay, after the lease is up, it can be renewed. If, like America, there's not a need for maybe, let's say, that run a highway through your land or something. It's called eminent domain. America does it all the time. They move people out when they have new developments coming in, or running highways, or running a new apartment complex that's maybe in a dilapidated area. You know, they pay the people what the property's worth, they move them out, they go ahead and do the rebuild. How are schools? I don't know. They got private schools that I hear are international schools that are good. I hear that. All right, Pontiac. Let's see here. What am I putting on my skin? It's called the sun. See, I look younger and younger. I'm telling you, the sun. I love to sweat. Okay, yeah. Well, let me say this right here in closing. I think I got through all the questions, basically. Yeah, you know, I thank each and every one of you all coming in for just sharing your special day with me. I appreciate everything that you all do for me. Y'all the ones is the reason why I keep going. I keep doing this. I appreciate you all's prayers. I appreciate you all's 75 cents from O'Shea Duke Jackson. No, I'm seriously. It blows my mind. People who even, they say that they can't travel, never come to Africa, but they want to go ahead and support me in my travels because they love just watching what I do in the countries I go to. I thank y'all for that. Nothing, I don't want to miss anything that anybody out here is doing graciously towards me, because I know that it's you all that I'm doing it for. And I hope that you all gain and learn from this. I hope that you've learned something from this. Please share this with somebody who's trying to find their way. Get started, get motivated, be uplifted and edified, because, you know, we need to get out of this stupor stump that we're in. We got to get out of this stinking thinking that we're in. We got to stop all this blaming people for racism, blaming people for not giving a chance. It's time to stop all that. It's time to get up, dust your clothes off, and go get it. Time to respect the money that you're making and stop wasting it. Please go back into the video and listen. I hit hard in some places. A lot of people agree that I was making sense on a lot of these things, because in order for you to get where you need to go, you're going to have to sacrifice something. With that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to you all in the day that the good Lord has given you. I'm out.